how do you think that you as a Wiradjuri elder will benefit from a compilation like this?
Well, I think it'll have tremendous benefit. This information is not readily available. It's really important that we know these stories, and indeed there's songs. That's a really important area because of the Wiradjuri story. That kind of I guess fight to keep our lands and our culture is really important. And although there has been books and a lot of information about it, I think this one will have a depth that hasn't been really shown before. What are the stories that have been handed down, and what are the songlines?
So have you tried to find these kind of access these stories or histories from parts of Wiradjuri country, particularly where you're from, in Brungle and surrounding areas, and have you found that process trying to find information as well?
Well, I don't have any expertise in this, so I haven't really tried to find anything much. But I do have a 70-year-old history of Wiradjuri country. And I was fortunate enough to grow up with grandparents who told me stories about life back in the early 1900s. So but there really just isn't enough. So I'm just looking forward to you being able to locate those and make them, I think the important, that accessibility.
For sure.
Making it accessible to any and everyone who wants to be able to listen. Not everyone are readers. Not everyone can research and look back through documents and so on.
So kind of the importance of oral histories, I suppose.
And bringing this forward into oral history will give that accessibility that hasn't been there.
I suppose for me, I am your granddaughter, so what do you kind of think about me leading this project into Wiradjuri country, where we're from, and how, what do you think about me kind of doing this, I suppose?
Well, I'm very proud that you're going to look into this history, Madika.
Thank you.
Because it'll also make it much more accessible to me, and I'm sort of along on the journey.
Yes.
But also, your grandfather grew up around that area. Your grandfather Ray Jackson. So I think that brings in another element that's really important to you and important to your family story as well.
For sure. I guess a part of this project will be myself and Sam going to lots of different parts of Wiradjuri country, spending most of our time there. So I suppose do you see yourself maybe coming on these trips with us, or going back to country, going to Brungle, going to China?
Absolutely. It's important to go back to country, and of course, although I'm there many times, I've never been there on a research project and never given myself that time, to really do that. It's really important that you go back and stand and sit on country. I think the first thing you do is to go there and really sit on country. You need to be able to feel the country.
For sure. I guess, in a modern context, how do you feel about something like a compilation or a sound history being a kind of modern, accessible way to connect to country or finding connection to country, I suppose?
Well, I guess as my great grandfather used to say, it's modern times. So there's modern methods. We no longer sit around the campfires enough. We no longer understand the power of fire enough. So that's why I said earlier, you need to sit down on country too. and be able to feel the country. And I feel like the country will speak to you when you're there.
Cool.
And it'll probably bring out dimensions that you've probably not even thought about yet.
For sure.
That will hopefully guide this into a really important bit of information.